Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Black Sea and Danube weekly grain overview. We will recapitulate the last week trading and discuss the main driver for the next week market. So I would like to thank you a lot to our outstanding speakers. Here with us are Bogdan, Gigi from BNK Brokers, and Aleksandar from Delta Agrar. So without further ado, Aleksandar, could you please give us overview of the Serbian market? Thanks.
Sure, I will be short. I will walk you through the key movements in Serbian agri commodities market over the past week. Let's start with the cereals, with grains. Let's start with the wheat. Wheat prices have remained stable since harvest, mostly in Serbia. They're around 175 euros per ton for 11.5 pro and 76 test weight minimum. I would say that market is, let's say, mostly dull. Low offers from farmers, also low demand from buyers and traders. So liquidity has been a problem since the harvest ended, basically. In general, it's the situation in all of the region, and in my opinion, short-term outlook looks bearish unless the export interest picks up. But I wouldn't say that this is likely because of all of the stocks in the region which are present. Regarding the corn, we have the corn harvest in full swing. We are probably 60 or 70% done roughly in Serbia. I would say that yields are disappointing, likely below 4 tons per hectare, making this one of the worst crops in a decade, probably. Last week's price was around 192, 193 euros FCA farmers warehouse or collectors warehouse. And that is without a guarantee on toxins in Serbia. Toxins levels are pretty much inconsistent at this point. It's early to judge, but quality seems similar to last year's. Maybe slightly better depending on the region. Demand is weak. It is most locally, but we can add to this that this is the biggest reason for this low liquidity in corn market is the price in Serbia, which is, let's say, uncompetitive for the export market. Sunflower harvest is mostly completed now. It's probably 93 or 95% done. Prices last week ranged from 470 to 480 euros per ton FCA. Average yield, I would say it's around 2.4 tons, which is a decent yield. But due to limited on-farm storage, about 90% of the crop has probably been already traded to processors or to traders, making sunflower the most liquid commodity at the moment. For the time being, this liquidity has been lower in the past week because of the prices which declined in the past 10 days, and the farmers are expecting them to bounce back in the coming weeks. Regarding the soybeans, we have harvested probably 40 to 50% completed, with an average yield around 1.5 tons per hectare, which is pretty bad, but compared to the last year's crop, it seems a little bit better. And probably this is, apart from wheat, the only crop that we had better than last year's. Last week's price was around 430 euros FCA, but only small quantities were offered. Buyers are also very cautious at the moment, not just due to local quality concerns, because we had some last year, but also because of the global protein prices, which are under pressure, following strong soybean crops in the United States and Brazil. Additionally, we expect heavy imports, as we have seen last year, coming from neighboring countries and Ukraine, which will likely weigh on domestic demand and pricing. All in all, wheat is stable but dull. A lot of it is available on the market, and a little bit has been traded in the past months. Farmers are mostly holding, waiting for the better prices. And in general, the best liquidity in these past few weeks and the focus has been on sunflower seeds. And that is also nearing the end, I would like to say, because unlike the region, like the farmers in Romania and Bulgaria, Serbian farmers don't have the infrastructure to hold the sunflower seeds, so most of them have been traded. In general, my opinion that the short-term sentiment is cautious across the board, and I don't see big movements in prices in the coming weeks. I see the market neutral to bearish, and I hope that the liquidity will improve. That is the main thing, and I think that is something that we should discuss most about today.
Okay, thank you, Aleksandar. As a commodity exchange, Novi Sad, we are seeing the situation, the market exactly same as you did. So, okay, let's hear from the Gigi and Bogdan. Is it maybe better situation on the Black Sea and the regional market? We're hoping. Thanks.
Hello, guys. Unfortunately, the news are more or less the same. First of all, I'd like to present myself for those who don't know me. I'm Bogdan Banica from BNK Brokers. We're a brokerage company in Romania dealing with the regional market mostly, not that much on the FOB Constanța, just DAP market, let's say, Western Europe and Constanța. We trade about 1 million tons per year. So if you need my contact, if you need some more information after this, you can get it from Vlad. So I'll start talking a bit about the wheat now. Can you put the table on? So I'll start a bit with the S&D. Okay, yeah, perfect. So we had a record crop of wheat this year, apparently. Traders are talking about the production between 13 tons and 14 tons. We're working with 13.5 million tons right now. There are a lot of traders who are working with 14 million tons at the moment. Some are more optimistic, some are more pessimistic. But anyways, like Aleksandar said, there is almost no liquidity. The only reason farmers are selling right now, it's either if they need to clear up some space or they urgently need money. So basically, there is no joy in selling right now. Nobody wants to sell and nobody is happy to sell. They just do it because they have to. Okay, I'm gonna talk about the bids from last week. Bids in Constanța range from 187 to 192 euros per ton, but there is no liquidity at this level. I mean, here and there you can see a few hundred tons, but no huge volume. We see a bit of offers at 194, 195, but nothing huge. Where we can actually start seeing some liquidity, we estimate around 198 euros DAP Constanța. That's where we will probably see the next massive wave of selling. But right now, nobody wants to sell anything. I mean, the same story like Aleksandar said. There is no demand. There is no offer at the moment. So the market is basically more or less dead at the moment. Okay, let's move down to barley. Okay, so we also have a very good crop of barley. We estimate about 3.2 million tons this year. Most of it was already traded. What is kept now is mostly for the domestic market. We'll probably not see a lot of export from Constanța of barley anymore. I mean, nobody has the courage to fix a vessel anymore with this low liquidity. We saw the bids ranging from 187 to 189 here and there. Just 189 from some local traders. The multis are a bit lower. The targets are basically the same as the wheat. I mean, farmers are targeting, let's say, 198 euros, where we could see a bit of liquidity. But we see a strange thing now happening, where the barley is more expensive than wheat. I mean, this is not normal, but the problem actually with both barley and wheat is that the market was very technical during the harvest, because we encountered basically the same problem. There was a bit of harvest pressure, so they had to sell, but the liquidity was still very low compared to what was expected. When you have a record crop, you expect maybe not record liquidity, but high liquidity, let's say. And both barley and wheat have the same problem. There was no liquidity. The market was very technical. And basically, the bids in Constanța were around 200 euros, which was higher than what you could actually sell on the FOB. And the local traders also bought at this level, and now they are more or less long at this level. So the farmers don't want to sell because they don't like the price. The local traders are long at a higher level, so they're not willing to lose the money yet. We'll see, maybe next year they will. We'll see what happens. Right now, what I see is like more or less a poker game, because the demand doesn't want to increase the prices, but also the sellers. I'm talking about the regional market because I know Russia and Ukraine. I'm not an expert in that market, but I know they're selling right now. So I'm guessing that's what it keeps that's what keeps the price down. But all the farmers and all the local traders are bullish right now. They're bullish not because the numbers are dictating that bullishness, but they're bullish mostly because they're biased. Everybody's saying, okay, if during the harvest we saw like 200 euros bids, we should see them again, at least this, because we put the grains in the storage, we have extra costs and all that. We don't know whether that's gonna happen or not. We'll see who gives up first. It's either the demand or the offers. Yeah. Okay. Moving a bit to corn. We have, I think it's the same story like in Serbia. We have a pretty bad crop of corn. It's a bit better than last year, but still not very good. As you can see here, we're working about 7.5 million, but there are a lot of numbers going on in the market because nobody actually knows exactly how much corn was made, because there are a lot of areas affected by the drought. And okay, what was irrigated is better than last year, because last year we had like a big heat wave. So even the irrigated corn was not that good. We had a lot of aflatoxin even with the corn that was irrigated, because the steam would go up to the kernels and I don't know, make mold, I guess. This year there is not that much aflatoxin in Romania. I mean, I haven't heard about that many problems. The problem is that once again we don't see any liquidity to the port. Just here and there, farmers selling straight to the multinationals, but most of the local traders are buying for the local market. We see bids in the local market ranging from 200 euros delivered to the feed factory or to the miller to 206 euros, while the port is bidding 192 to 197. The only reason to sell to the port right now for the farmers is just because of easier execution and logistics, because you cannot deliver 100, 1,000, 2,000 tons per day to a local factory. We don't have that. I mean, our feed factories, they cannot receive that much cargo in one day. So there's the only reason they are selling is because they don't have the storage and they have to deliver fast. They need to harvest, today, let's say. Otherwise, there is no liquid on corn either. We see the harvest at about 45%. 45% done already. But on the other hand, the healthy corn and the good corn is just starting now. So basically what we harvested so far was the bad corn, the one that dried up. So now we're actually seeing some better corn. So the liquidity might increase a bit because the northern part of the country is also beginning the harvest full blast. We might see some liquidity in the following month. But at the moment, as I told you, from what I hear, everything is going to the local factories or local millers. About all on corn, I think. If you have any other questions, you can ask me. Okay, let's go down. Let's go down a bit for the rapeseed, I think. No, just the sunseeds. Can you move on the other sheet, please? Yeah, just skip to the second one, please. Okay, so for rapeseed, this year was a good year for rapeseed in terms of production, also the harvested area. As you can see, there is almost like 30% increase in the harvested area compared to last year. And the yield is not very bad either. We were working with 2.9, so we estimate about 2.7 million, 2.8 million tons of production. We had a pretty good export run during the harvest. We've seen liquidity on the rapeseed. Now the liquidity also started. The bids they ranged last week from -3 Matif November -3 to +2. But on the port, there is not that much liquidity anymore. In order to see some massive liquidity, we need to see some massive increase in Matif. This is what I believe right now. The stocks that are left are already in the storage. There is no pressure to sell them. Everybody's hoping for the best and treating corn and rapeseed as well, like Bitcoin. There was a joke someone made. I think you, Aleksandar, you made this joke or not? Someone else. Anyways, unfortunately, there is nothing much to say because the market is not moving and there is no liquidity. We can see in the Western market, I'm talking about Western counties of Romania that go to the Western, to Poland or Germany mostly. And we can see bids ranging for 475 to 480 euros free on rail. But again, that was the same, it's more or less the same level like 1 or 2 months ago. So people are not eager to sell at this level either. What else can I say about rapeseed? Local pressures are still interesting in buying both rapeseed and sunflower seeds. I don't think they're buying that much either. I haven't heard about major trades. Only here and there a few hundred tons. Like I said before, the only things that are being sold right now are what is absolutely necessary. It's either they urgently need the money or they need the storage, or they don't have the storage, they're harvesting, so they need to sell it because they don't have any storage. I'm talking about the farmers. Okay, moving down to sunflower seeds. Sunflower seeds, the crop is so and so, I would say. It's about 2 million tons. This is what we've had in the last year it was worse, but this is our usual crop, let's say, for sunflower seeds. We've seen a bit of liquidity here and there during the harvest, mostly from Constanța. Most of the sunflower seeds went to Turkey. We also saw Bulgaria bidding, taking some lots from the southern part mostly, which calculates. Bulgaria was basically this year at the same level as Constanța, more or less. They tried to be in the same range, I would say. While last year they bought most of the Romanian sunflower seeds, this year we don't see them so aggressive anymore. So for the sunflower seeds, the bids are ranging from 580, actually from 575 to 590 US dollars, DAP Constanța. But the harvest is about 80% done, so I think the liquidity is starting to get lower for sunflower seeds as well. I don't know what's going to happen in the next period. Everybody's just waiting. Something has to crack, either the farm or the demand. But at the moment, it's pretty quiet, I can say. I think that's about all. If you have any questions for me.
Okay, Bogdan, thank you. So if anybody has a question, just shoot us in the comment, and we will send to Gigi, Bogdan, and Aleksandar to answer within the comment. Thank you, Bogdan, for valuable presentation. Gigi, floor is yours.
Thanks a lot. Nice to see you guys over here. Nice community, and thanks for putting all of this setup together. For those who don't know me, my name is Gigi. It's an abbreviation from Gheorghe. I've been working for about 10 years as a wheat broker for 2 multinationals here in Romania doing origination, and recently moved in a broker position. So look, Bogdan already gave a lot of details about the local market. I'll see if we can put together maybe a general view of the last 3 months. But to sum it up in one phrase, I would say that we've been witnessing a Mexican standoff between traders and farmers in the last 3 months. Every product so far has been technical. Barley got a little bit oversold. The farmer sold the barley. Right now, I think he has below 10% unsold cargo. Most of the barley is already exported, but the book was pretty big. So all of a sudden, starting mid-July, we've seen a lot of short covering in the port. This is also what kept the price higher, including today. So right now, if we're looking at the prices of corn, wheat, and barley, they're basically at the same level at this 193, 92, so 190 plus. Barley, I don't think it calculates anywhere in the region. There's nobody willing to buy barley out of Constanța that's more expensive than milling wheat in destination, right? So it doesn't really calculate in any feeding recipe for the moment. So yeah, it looks like the farmer did the same as last year, but from a more technical position. So he sold the barley, he sold most of his rape seeds, and he held back on the wheat. Massive stocks of wheat remain in the country, and it's the same, I guess, around the region. If we're looking all across the board, right, in the Black Sea, there's, just to put it in one phrase again, there's simply too much wheat. If we look at it for this period of the time, there's simply too much wheat out there. Tend to agree a little bit with Alexander here for the upcoming period. If we're talking maybe 1-2 months, I don't really think that the prices could move any higher on this stage. Simply because you can find cheaper sources and most of the destinations are covered. So we've seen last week 2 tenders, one for Jordan, one for Algeria. They seem to be calculating the Black Sea region. We try to calculate back on a CPT basis, on a CIF Constanța basis, what would be the equivalent that they sold. So it's slightly below 190. Which kind of give us an idea of the tendency of the market to be lagging in this region of 185 to 195. Maybe euro dollar helps a little bit or goes the other way. So, but anyway, general feeling is that for the next 1.5-2 months, I don't think we're going to see any major swings. Barley probably will remain technical until the S&D is done, but for wheat, I don't think we're going to see any major swings here. Rapeseeds, look, I don't have much to say about rapeseeds because it's as the international markets is taking us essentially. I mean, it really depends a lot on what Australia is going to produce for next crop and what Canada is going to do with its canola. But that's again very linked to the international, to the broad picture globally, to what the soybean production is going to be and how the oil complex is going to look like and what Trump is going to do. So I guess saying that the rapeseed is going to go lower or higher, it's, I mean, we're just taking a guess, right? Essentially, yeah, from a seasonality point of view, rapeseeds should tend to get a bit higher, but it's not necessarily, it's pure history and seasonality if it does happen. But you can also, we've also seen market going lower in the ex-harvest positions. Now, the autumn didn't bring any sort of relief. Sunflower seeds, I would say crop could have been better, not the worst in the world. But again, very technical market. But this time on corn and sunflower seeds, we're witnessing here in Romania a very long harvest period. I mean, harvest for sunnies is probably 80%, corn half, maybe a bit higher, and we're going to get an entire week of rains. Probably we're going to finish sunnies somewhere mid-October, and corn, we're going to see the Christmas with it. Essentially, the corn that's unharvested is mostly in the northern part, which is pretty far away from the port. Logistics don't calculate there very well, and at the same time, I don't think the price environment is also going to help that much the flow to Constanța of corn this year. Again, corn, it's the same as milling wheat, which is very unusual. So we're talking in the 190 plus region. We even seen a bit higher for good specs for 5 aflatoxins for the food industry. But it looks like the main driver for the moment will remain the local market. The same as in Serbia, we're basically seeing a market that's being defined by the local feed compounders and some millers that are doing this corn flour. And don't really think anything is going to change much in the coming months. The trading houses in the port, I mean, they are in the market. They're trying to cover whatever program they have at this stage. But look, let's face it. For sunnies and for corn, once the Ukrainian market is gonna start kicking in, and we're gonna start seeing a push from the Ukrainian market of corn in the Black Sea. Once that happens, I don't think the corn will go anywhere besides lower. Don't really see how Romania could be competitive at this point with this price environment. But again, time will tell. Maybe euro dollar helps a little bit. Maybe the local market will be able to sustain this purchase rhythm, and the farmer is not going to need the export anytime soon. But it's to be seen. So yeah, it's probably, I've been doing this for 10 years now. This is the 11th one, but it's by far the most technical that I've seen. Don't see any happy traders out there, and we do understand the pain and the situation of this year. But let's face it, that's reality, and that's markets getting more technical and more mature as we progress. So we are now starting to see a lot of farmers being able to hold back a lot of stocks for very long periods of time, farmers that are better capitalized than in the past. So probably this market is here to stay. If any questions or any questions for my colleagues in the comment section. Thanks.
We will, if any questions, please just put in the comments, and we will share with Bogdan and Gheorghe and Aleksandar. So Gheorghe, Bogdan, Aleksandar, thank you. Many thanks for outstanding presentation. So I'm sure it will help the traders within the Black Sea region. And thank you all for joining us today. And we are looking forward to see you next Monday, same time. Have a nice day.
Welcome, sir. Have a nice day.
Bye-bye.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Bye.
Ciao.
Ciao.